Every gacha game, every studio has a point in their life cycle where they do something really stupid. For One Punch Man World, and more specifically for Crunchyroll, it's just another Friday. Leading up to the release of One Punch Man World, the gacha managed to reach over 10 million pre-registered players. This is double what Tower of Fantasy achieved. This is more than almost any other gacha in the last year, with very few exceptions. So, hype, anticipation, and expectation were at an all-time high. Unfortunately, One Punch Man World nor Crunchyroll lived up to either the expectation or the anticipation. Just when you think it cannot get any worse, it gets worse. Now, before we jump into the specifics, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon. Allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I cannot thank you all enough for the support. Now let's get into this. The day the game opened, and I covered this in a dedicated video at the time, it was revealed that the paid reroll banner costs you roughly, I think it was $45 to $60. You got a number of refreshes. You were guaranteed an SSR character that you got to select based off of all of the pulls that you did, but it was ridiculously expensive. I don't think anyone was happy with this. I don't think anyone was okay with this. Now, we're no strangers to this happening in gacha games, but that was the first strike. The second strike was when, shortly after the game launched, it was already overrun with cheaters. The game's leaderboards already have cheaters. This is causing a lot of players who are still playing and spending money on the game to quit. If that wasn't bad enough, the in-game report feature just brings you to a Crunchyroll help page. From my experience with Crunchyroll's management of pre-con, Crunchyroll is not going to be able to deal with this cheating epidemic well. Here is a comment from Condi. I wouldn't spend money on a game that only has a 0.3% rate on SSRs anyway. This was another point of contention. You literally could not ever attain an SSR character because the rate of SSR character acquisition was ridiculously low. 2 weeks after launching, it was confirmed that One Punch Man World and Crunchyroll would be removing the pre-registration rewards for players. You know, because the 16 polls that they were giving out as a reward for players pre-registering were just seriously inhibiting the success of the game and subsequent growth of the game. I mean, this was putting their staff members out of work. The programmers couldn't afford to feed their families. No, they required these players, these new players, to get and earn and pay for those 16 polls themselves. It's fine, nobody's gonna play the game after the 14th anyway. 0.3% was very generous as well. Speed run to end of service, showing the true colors motherfucking Crunchyroll. And finally, after, I think it has been approximately nearing on 4 weeks since the game launched, Crunchyroll made an announcement. Hey, heroes, if you are logged into the game with your Crunchyroll account and you just so happen to have a premium Crunchyroll membership, please look out for an email containing a code to use to obtain 750 World Silver. Crunchyroll premium members get access to an exclusive gift every 2 weeks. So make sure you're subscribed to Crunchyroll Premium. Oh my god. Yeah. It gets worse. They're actively promoting their Crunchyroll. Like, this entire thing, this entire game has been a ploy to get you to sign up for Crunchyroll Premium. What the actual fuck, man? Now let's... Oh, wait. Look at some of the... Look... Oh god, the reactions. Middle finger. Yawn. Money hungry. Clown. Middle finger. Clown. Dead. And a turd emoji. Oh man, okay, yeah. Any other Crunchyroll game, I need to have a premium account to get rewards. Okay, let's look at the comments here. They are gonna be absolutely stellar. The emojis on the post, they're desperate at this point. Game made 500K in 3 weeks, they're cooked next month. I'm not gonna be surprised if they shut down after 5 months. Dude, 500K? That's crazy. But at the same time, not totally unexpected. Did it really only make 500K? Crunchyroll made 500K. Taiwan version made 200K. It's pretty embarrassing. Imagine the next month's revenue. It's not even gonna be 100K. Jeez. I feel like Condi is everywhere. Dude, you're like literally everywhere I look. Yeah, the 2 most used emojis. Stop playing shit from Crunchyroll. Not enough hate emojis. Crunchyroll is the final boss of global gacha gamers. That middle finger react sums it all. The emojis. You shouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole anything Crunchyroll. So the video I did said why you should absolutely not play One Punch Man World. I expressed it very clearly why you should steer clear of it. And it has been made repeatedly apparent why you should not be playing the game, why you should be avoiding the game, and why you should be avoiding Crunchyroll in general. Now, probably because of how I go about approaching covering Crunchyroll's games, they have never actively offered to sponsor a single video that I've done. I've received sponsorships from Hoyo, Kudo, Griffline, who else? Yostar. I feel like every major gacha game has sponsored me at one point or another, but not Crunchyroll. And that's because at the end of the day, I constantly say, fuck Crunchyroll, they're a piece of garbage and we should avoid them at all costs, along with every single game that they either develop or publish. And this is why. Repeated instances. It cannot be made any clearer why we should boycott playing any of their games. They do not care. Everything for them is about their return on investment. They don't want to develop, they don't want to publish good games. They just want to maximize their profit. At the end of the day, that means their games are not games targeted at players. Their games are games targeted at spenders. Because their games are there to bank on nostalgia, to bank on the hype and popularity of a game, and merely to make you spend as much as possible before they get rid of it. Now, at the end of the day, I feel like it's still going to somehow get even worse. And I cannot wait to cover that. I cannot wait to see how much worse it gets. And I cannot wait to see, ultimately, when the game shuts down. I also can't wait to see how much this game earns over the course of the next 3 months. Because less than $1 million in its launch month is fucking horrific. Now, if One Punch Man World is not a game you're at all interested in, and honestly it really shouldn't be, then no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be more up your alley.